Hello, my friends, and welcome to a devotional connection. I am reading Mark chapter 8, verses 22 through 26, and it's when Jesus heals the blind man at Bethsaida. And it reads that they came to Bethsaida, and some people brought a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. When he had spit on the man's eyes and put his hands on him, Jesus asked, "Do you see anything?" He looked up and said, "I see people. They look like trees walking around." Once more, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. Then his eyes were open, his sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. Jesus sent him home, saying, "Don't even go to the village." I love this passage, and it used to confuse me because there can't be any lack in the power of Jesus Christ. That's never been, never has been, never will be. And there must have been something here that I was missing when I was young because I couldn't understand why Jesus had to touch him twice. Until you begin to understand the level of relationship that Jesus calls us to and something different that he's doing here. Jesus goes and touches the blind man, and he basically asks him, for lack of a better term, what do you see? What are you seeing? Sometimes our healing can take place progressively rather than instantaneously. We all want the woman with the issue of blood experience. We all want Jesus to instantaneously heal us. But sometimes that's not how it happens. Sometimes that's not how he chooses to do it. Sometimes what is required is more conversation. Jesus is not afraid to walk with us. Jesus is not afraid to keep the conversation going. And in this instance, he asked the man, "What are you seeing?" And it was a perfect opportunity for complete honesty with Christ. Sometimes we try to butter it up. We try to say words that aren't, that make it seem more palatable. We give an out and don't expect much from God. We are afraid to be disappointed. And instead of voicing that, we just accept the bare minimum from the God of the universe who gave his only begotten Son, held nothing back, held no treasure back to set us free. Instead, we're so willing to accept less than what he's willing to offer. This man says very plainly, "I see people, but they look like trees walking around. It's still blurry, Lord. I see better than I did before, but I'm not fully healed yet." And instead of Jesus saying, "Oh, that's enough. Oh, well, I did the best I could," Jesus puts his hands on him one more time. And then his eyes were open and he saw everything clearly. I was speaking to a wonderful friend of mine this week, and she asked me a question. What am I supposed to do with how I feel? I'm frustrated with God right now. And I said, then tell him that. Don't hold back. Don't be flowery with your words. Tell him exactly how you feel because he already knows. But he's waiting to hear it from you. He will not violate you by just doing and taking it from you. You have to give it to him. And his shoulders are huge. He can take it. Be honest with God. There's something in the trust in that relationship. There's something in the trust of the honesty. It's a lesson that I've learned and a lesson I'm still learning. Be honest with God. And I promise you, he will see you through. He will take care of you. He did not hold anything back, giving his only begotten Son. If he didn't hold back on Jesus, what more then is he willing to do that we lose faith on? I remember the story of the prophet Samuel going to King David. And he was talking to him about what he had done with Bathsheba and her husband Uriah. And he told him flat out, if what God gave you wasn't enough, you should have asked for more. You should have just been honest and let God deal with it from there. Trust God. He can handle it. Talk to you again soon.